This week we take a look at students' Twitch careers,
Mr. Thompson's final year at MCHS,
rehearsals for the spring play,
the 8th grade choir concert,
Mrs. Dunn's accomplishments this year,
Mr. Warborn's impact at MCHS,
all that and more on the Warrior Weekly. Good morning, Warriors, and welcome to this week's edition of the Warrior Weekly, presented by Warrior Student Media. I'm Casey Congdon.
And I'm Zoe Malloy. This week we take a look at a number of exciting events and stories at MCHS.
But first, Warrior Student Media kickstarts this week's story with a popular platform for games all over the world, including some students here at MCHS.
Twitch streaming is a new career path many in the gaming industry have taken in stride. Warrior Student Media takes a look into up-and-coming streamers at MCHS who hope to one day make it big alongside streaming giants like Speed, Kai Cenat. Senior Daniel Montez gives us a taste how he got into streaming and what inspired him to chase his dreams.
I say my friend Osmar because he collaborated with the popular rapper PGF Nook, and it just made me realize that you can connect with a lot of people from different industries. I enjoy just having fun with my friends, just capturing the good moments in the stream and just having it just to look back at to when I'm older.
Senior Daniel Montez talks about who inspired him into getting into Twitch streaming.
It's just something that I've always looked at when I was a kid because I've seen like growing up I've been watching YouTube and just like watching streamers, and it's just something that just stuck to me.
Donovan Crispin shares who inspired him to stream and what is the most enjoyable parts of streaming.
I'd have to say playing with friends, just always trying out different games, it's always fun to have a nice experience with the friends on there. It's always fun to do like something after school as an activity. People who inspired me to become a streamer is probably like AJ Chavera, Matthew Knox, I just saw it and, I just thought of something funny, just try and do. I wouldn't say I wanted to become a streamer, but, just like something to do just for fun, have some people in the chat talk to them, just a nice little fun thing to do after school, like I said.
Mayor Montez shares his experience playing games with friends.
Right now it's Phasmophobia. It's like a scary haunted game, and it's just funny with my friends because they just get scared all the time.
Both Daniel and Donovan expressed their favorite moment live on stream.
When I played with Osmar and PGF Nook, because he's a famous rapper, so it's just like something that is just big.
I'd have to say Fortnite. Fortnite's a great game to stream, or like Phasmophobia, because, horror game is just fun to see. You just run around and everything, so I think it's great entertainment. Probably when I killed Ninja back in the OG days. I think that's probably my favorite streaming moment. I might have a clip of it, might not, but I could try and look for it.
Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are AJ Chavera, Nick Perez, and Aiden Kuzmiak.
We take a look at what Mr. Thompson's life looks like on a daily basis during the school week.
Many teachers have entered the doors of MCHS and have left a profound impact on their students. One teacher in particular, Mr. Thompson, has done just that. To celebrate his final year at MCHS, Warrior Student Media took the time to speak with the beloved teacher.
The manufacturing classes offer 3 different areas in welding, manual machining, and CNC. And so I enjoy it because they offer those 3 things which are completely different.
Thompson explains why his manufacturing lab allows students to succeed in their respective career paths.
Just our lab. The lab that we have is up to date. It offers some of the best technology that is on the market today. Probably one of the best labs for manufacturing in this area, if not the state.
Mr. Thompson, who has seen the manufacturing industry grow over the years, reflects on his own path from when he was in college to today.
Back in the last century, around 1980, I graduated from college in 1983 with an industrial education degree, and then that's what kind of started me there. So about 1980s, I decided that this would be a good thing to go into. This year, we have about 7 kids already going into manufacturing. They have a job either at Scott Forge or Wakanda Tool and Die, and they're actually going to be employed in the very near future in manufacturing.
Mr. Thompson hopes his program continues to help students find their own path in the future once he leaves MCHS.
A program that is working, a program that is full, and it sounds like we're going to be full next year. So that's what I want to leave behind, that a program that kids can learn from.
Senior tenure Miller reflects on the impact Mr. Thompson has had on his students as well as their feelings on his departure.
He's a great teacher, knows his way around all the machines, and has just been doing it for years. I mean, he kind of changed my future. Instead of me wanting to do welding, he brought me to different careers and showed me around a lot more. Kind of sad, but I'm also kind of happy because he started my freshman year and he's leaving my senior.
Although this is Mr. Thompson's final year, his legacy will remain at MCHS forever. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Dawson Alvarado, Hunter Hinckley, and Emmanuel Ortiz.
Next, let's turn to weatherman Noah Outwater to get the latest update on how the week will look. Noah, over to you.
Thank you, Casey. Good morning, Warriors. I'm Noah Outwater, local weatherman, and this is this week's weather forecast. Sadly, we all live in the most unpredictable state known to man. Spring is no longer in sight. We have snow, rain, clouds, and temps still in the mid-50s. Starting off with today, temps reaching a high of 59, clouds with a little bit of sun, low of 40 degrees. Wednesday, high chances of precipitation, temps still reaching about 60 degrees with the lows being 38. Thursday, the worst thing that can happen is snow, but here we are. Temps dropping to 43 degrees with a low of 31. Make sure to leave those wiper blades up, and people with remote start, I'm still jealous of you. Friday, just clouds, thankfully 52 degrees, high and low of 28. Saturday, the sun is finally making its appearance, still dropping in temps with a high of 50 and a low of 34. That's the weather for the week. Have an amazing day, Warriors. Back to you, Zoe.
Last week we covered the musical here at McHenry, but we didn't cover the progress behind the musical and what went into it. There is a lot of work that goes into the production of making sure everything goes as planned.
Throughout the past couple of months, MCHS students in theater have been preparing to hit the stage with their production of Little Shop of Horror. Meeting every day after school, junior Ari Jensen and sophomore Matt Zarowski bring Warrior student media through what a typical rehearsal looks like.
You have to have your microphone checked by our incredible sound crew. We run through either one whole entire act, both acts, or sometimes we'll just go over like dances, lines.
At the beginning, we would start with just like working dance numbers, and then we would move to a dressing room to work on songs. And then once we got more into it, we started doing blocking, and then we would add songs and dance in with it.
Producing a show can take a lot of effort, and sometimes individuals get elected roles that were not of their choosing. Dance choreographer Miss Sydney Leonard and Jensen share some of the negative aspects of theater and how they recover from it.
It varies from production to production, especially depending on what kind of budget do you have. Are you able to outsource and get those costumes and things like that from elsewhere? But I know a lot of hard work is put in to make those outfits fit both the actors and the characters that they're performing as. I think it really takes from when we first start up until when we're performing, and even while we're performing there could be some adjustments.
But sometimes in productions I've been casted as someone who is arrogant and very rude. So it's a challenge when it comes to acting, and also singing and dancing at the same time. It's like a workout. It can be really challenging sometimes.
It takes a lot of courage to be on stage in front of a whole audience. Zarowski describes how he prepares himself for a show.
I'd say the most important thing you can do is definitely develop a routine and different habits you can have. Like one of my main things is before every show I have an album that I listen to that gets me into the zone. And then also, of course, just preparing, knowing your lines, knowing your blocking, knowing your dances and songs and all that stuff.
Congratulations to all those in theater for putting on such a wonderful production. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Grace Summers, Joe Smith, Zara Sawede, and Jimena Lopez.
Current 8th graders joined McHenry Choir Concert for the show last week for the experience for their incoming freshman year 8th grade choir concert.
Last week, 8th graders from McHenry Middle School and Parkland Middle School joined our McHenry Choir students for one of their annual concerts. Mr. Galaficius speaks about how he wants to expose current 8th graders to joining choir next year in high school.
For including the 8th graders, a lot of reasons. The first one is for the 8th graders to see what the high schoolers are doing to see if they want to join. The second thing is for them to see what we're doing in high school and join, but also see how they've grown even just that one summer, and to allow them the opportunity to get excited about high school. We decide what kind of songs we want, all combined, like a girl piece, a guy piece, and then how much time they have to dedicate to learning it. I don't want to give them something too difficult. So we kind of figure out the best songs to figure out and do. And then we all agree on the same version, then we all start working on it separately. And the only time we come together is the morning of this night to practice for like an hour and a half.
8th grader Jessica DeMelli expresses her feelings of seeing the different age groups performing at the concert and what she should be expecting in upcoming years.
It's so like nice to see everyone just like grow older, because you have like the freshmen performing and the seniors, and seeing like the maturity amongst the few and all the different pieces. I just thought it was amazing. It showed off segments of every choir, freshman, cadet, concerts around, and just like gave an example of what kind of pieces you would be expecting to learn. It definitely shows how it's like a bigger step, but like it's still like comforting to see the different groups and whatnot go together than compared to like the middle school choirs. One thing I learned was that you don't always have to be like so strict and like proper when you're performing, because when they were having, especially the a cappella songs, they were just going around having a good fun.
Senior Casey Carlson goes into detail about her love for the collaboration of the 8th graders during the choir concert and how choir makes her feel.
I actually really love singing with the 8th graders. It's quarter 3 is my favorite concert by far. I love seeing all their faces and getting to know them. Even as a senior, it was super fun today. I absolutely love just everything about this event. Getting to know how you fall in each choir. Working on each piece is a different struggle in of its own, but putting it all together at the end of the day is so fun. So worth it. I think seeing the 8th graders' faces of Anchor or singing all together in that last song, everyone was enjoying it. I could see the audience dancing along.
Be sure to catch the next choir concert on May 6th of this year. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Cameron Mitchell, Elvie Julio, and Iker Pena. Have a great week, Warriors.
One of our beloved teachers, Mrs. Dunn, won Illinois State Teacher of the Year award. Warrior Student Media dives into why she deserves this award this year.
Heidi Dunn, a friendly face around McHenry, has recently won a very well-deserved award. Dr. Prickett shares more about this accomplishment.
Yeah, so Mrs. Dunn won the Northwest Region Teacher of the Year Award through the Illinois State Board of Education. A highly touted award that obviously some of our best teachers around the state deserve.
Ms. Dunn got to attend a ceremony this past weekend. She goes more into depth about what it was and what they did.
This weekend was all of the different regional teachers of the year. There's 13 of us from the 8 different regions came together down in Bloomington Normal and had a little ceremony, an induction ceremony into a group called the Illinois State Teachers of the Year, where we're going to be working together kind of as a cohort of educators to sort of elevate education as a profession in the state of Illinois. And so the state superintendent was there, and all of these former teachers of the year were there. So it was really fun getting to meet everybody and, being welcomed into this big group of people. So
Ms. Dunn's student recommender, Elena Machashik, shares why she nominated Ms. Dunn for this important award.
She's always been a very big supporter of mine. Ms. Dunn's always helped me with social issues and family issues, friends, that kind of thing. And then she's also helped me a lot with academics. She's always there to answer any questions. And I just felt like she was probably the biggest staff member who would create the biggest impact on my life. I always see her reaching out to other students to check in with them, to make sure that they're doing all right. And she's always willing to take that extra time and to go that extra mile to make sure that everybody's understanding the assignments and that they truly are getting the grade that they deserve. So she's always there for everybody.
If you see Ms. Dunn around the hallways, make sure to congratulate her. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we're Allie Casey, McKenna Harvey, and Riley Renke.
Warrior Student Media speaks to Mr. Warborn about what his impact is like at MCHS and all he does for our students.
A familiar face amongst the MCHS halls sat down to talk with Warrior Student Media about their career. Social science teacher Dean Warborn explains why he became a teacher.
Took AP US History when I went to Palatine High School, and I had a teacher who just made me really fall in love with teaching.
Warborn has been a teacher here at MCHS for 4 years. He finds many positive aspects of his career to be engaging.
The favorite part about teaching is helping students learn and develop the skills that they will use after high school. So no matter what field they go into, I can help them kind of prep for whatever their future holds. I like being able to educate them on things that are happening around them that they don't fully recognize.
Apart from being a teacher, Warborn is a track and cross-country coach. Warborn works hard to push his athletes to reach their goals while he works to reach his own.
I coach because I ran cross country and track in high school, and it was probably the most rewarding thing I got out of the time when I was in that kind of age range of like 14 to 18. I strive to help athletes kind of in that same regard and help them be successful no matter what they do. Long term, for me as a coach, I would like to have a team, specifically a cross country team, that is competitive on the state, like competitive in the state series and competitive across the state, not just focused on the Fox Valley.
MCHS students enjoy having Warborn as a teacher and seeing what sets him apart from other teachers at MCHS.
I feel like he's really understanding, and just like he kind of shapes the workouts and runs to be more like dedicated to the person.
Just the way that he connects with us. You know, some teachers don't necessarily make a connection with you, they just kind of teach the stuff, but he was really easy to work with, really fun, easygoing guy, and I had a really good time in his class.
Warborn is excited for the years at MCHS to come and to achieve his goals as a coach. Reporting for the Warrior Weekly, we are Billy Deneke, Christine Duckworth, Lily Adams, and Casey Cogden.
That's all for today's show. Be sure to follow the Warrior Weekly on social media platforms, including X, Instagram, and TikTok.
For Zoe Malloy and all of the Warrior student media, I'm Casey Congdon, and have a wonderful week, Warriors.